Hiya, everybody. Welcome. Welcome, 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 welcome to the Master Fran Art Stream. I'm your fine PNG tuber host, Master Fran. Nice to see you. Uh-oh. Tablet's not working. Lovely. I love that. Mouse works. Spend so much time just working with the mouse that the frickin' tablet stopped. 1 second. Cause it never fails. Gotta redo all of my Wacom stuff cause it's like I got a lot of stuff now just open. Cause I got this PNG tuber thing, plus I got, you know, Unity open. Switch to Unity. Got like a little thing open right now with Unity. It's out here. And also I got some stuff in, I got Photoshop open in Clip. I'll probably do some regular drawing, but right now I gotta get some pixel art stuff done. But hey, welcome to the fine stream here. I'm your host, Master Fran, and of course things aren't working anyway. I love that. We'll get to this. You know what? Let me take a break while I deal with my technical problems. I'll be right back. Shooby-doo, I return, and all my stuff's actually better. I reset my tablet, so everything should be much, much better. Hope everyone's doing well, because I've been pretty alright. I've had most of the week off, so I've been fiddling around with, I guess, life stuff. Most of Monday and Tuesday has been writing, honestly. I've been rewriting a new script for Blackmask. That's kind of just been a noble thing. For those who aren't familiar, Blackmask is my indie video game that I'm working on with a programmer friend. I'm the pixel artist overall, and we've been working on it for the past 5 years so far. And it's a Game Boy style game about a raccoon treasure hunter on a quest to pay off his debts, get rich, and get into insane danger with pirates and monsters and all the other like animal foes. So it's gonna be pretty fun, gonna be doing all the swashbuckling, all that fun stuff, and it'll be a nice, full, yet portable adventure. And we plan on doing a Kickstarter for this in a long, long time later. But I can't say with good news that we are shooting to get a playable demo build done by September. And that is I believe it's an indie game festival in Chicago, Illinois. And, right now, me and my programmer kind of like discuss, okay, what's our current status? Can we make that? And he tells me, yeah, we can totally make that. And now we actually have a proper deadline and a direction to hit. So I've been hard at work plunking down some research on getting a Steam page, plus getting all the ID stuff down, and of course working on getting some like art polishing things done. So I'd say this stream is going to be a little preview of what I need to be done for this stream right now. So sit back and watch me work on some more Blackmask development, and follow me online for more news about just game development stuff, news on Blackmask and actual game development actual cool stuff. So, thanks for stopping by on my stream and watching this entire long journey. Potentially, well, it's probably just starting, because there's still the demo. It's just the start, so that's kind of a funny thing with that. Anywho, I've got that, I suppose, announced. It's not really an announcement, but more of a discussion overall. Probably could chat a bit about what I plan to do with this owl character. So, for the most part, I'd say this owl is the last thing that I'm doing overall. This owl will be basically all I'll be working on for, I'd say, in terms of just new enemies. I'm just going to be working on this owl. That's the last enemy I'm going to be working on, I guess, for this specific stream. Probably not gonna make anything new, but what I'm just gonna be doing right now, it's a body. Yeah, just what I'm gonna be doing for this stream is I'm going to be basically working on finishing this owl. And overall, just getting everything just solid. And yeah, I mean, things should be pretty straightforward. Yeah, let me probably put you on a separate layer. Put you here. Yeah, honestly, that's been fine. Yeah, okay. I am resource saving, baby. Now this is me just completely just getting things done. Oh, I done goofed. You know what? It's not bad. I can recover from this. I can actually recover from this, because yeah, well, it should be fine. Yeah. Okay, kind of goofing right now. Hey, new layer. All you. Move you down here, call you Claw. And that's where I'll put all the claws. See, I'm intelligent. Yeah, it's big brain time. That's the power of saving resources. I still haven't decided on the proper, you're flickering. Boy, that's annoying. I still haven't figured out the bigger lore needs for the owls, other than, they're also residing on the island, and they may or may not relate to the tribe of owl bears who used to live there. So kind of just kind of winging it in tiny ways with this. Owl body. Could probably copy you. Put you here. Put you here. There we are. Alright, this is probably dumb, but I'm making it work. You know what? We'll get the wings, put this here, and then that'll be a nice way to kind of just do it. And the BGs, we stay alive here, son. And everything should just be fine. So, what have I been up to? Some more. So I guess today, my day has been pretty alright. I saw the Sony, well, I didn't see the Sony State of Play, but I watched the video clips. You know, there are a few games that pique my interest. Obviously, I totally will love playing Ninja Gaiden, so that's going to be on my, I hope it comes on PC list, so to speak. Yeah. Damn it. Incorrect. It's supposed to be a body. Fuck. Yeah. Yeah, Ninja Gaiden, I hope to play that one day. Bloodstained 2, that's pretty cool. I'm glad that it was successful enough to be able to make a sequel, so, you know, congrats on them. I would hope that the next game will actually run cohesively, because you know, the current game of Bloodstained, it just crashed a lot for me. So that is the most annoying thing about playing Bloodstained overall, is that game crashes so much. But, you know, congrats on just getting basically a blank check to just make more Castlevania, Metroidvanias, you know, more Castlevanias, so to speak. So that's pretty nice for them. And it looks good. It looks pretty good. It's you know, obviously it's a 2.5D again, so it's doing that, and it still looks pretty solid, so I'm pretty happy. You know, Miriam apparently isn't in the new one, but that's all right. It seems like it might be a sequel. I haven't played the entire thing to the end. I don't know if it's a sequel or maybe a prequel, because it's a bunch of knights overall. Like the story seems to be that you were a bunch of knights storming the castle. You know, the not Dracula castle. So that's one thing. So, yeah, apparently there's going to be co-op, like legit, or you're playing two characters in one thing. I haven't specified if it's just co-op, but it looks like a co-op type thing. Been pretty decent with that. Oh yeah, Ninja Gaiden looks pretty good. Wanna try that out. Even though I totally suck at the other NES games, but hey, you know, you got, I suppose, 2D Ninja Gaiden 4, then 3D Ninja Gaiden 4 coming out soon, so that's pretty rad. Okay, claws. We could make this claw look, no. Let's have this hair be like that. Come on. Why? Am I on the right thing? Is it locked? Kinda is. Sorry about that. But yeah, you know, kind of just living my life, kind of just doing cool stuff overall. Well, actually, it's not that cool. It's just me drawing some more. Yeah, a lot of most of my early week has just been writing. I probably mentioned that already, but I've just been, what my day's been is writing a lot, doing a bunch of overall just junk. I can move you down. You know what? Let's make you transparent. And I can see what's the actual opacity and what is futzing with me. So you're real. Yeah, the layer should be correct. There we go. I'm like, why the hell aren't you working? You're supposed to work for me, damn it. Which is overall the general story of the island, demo thing right now is, hey, you're betraying me. You're not supposed to betray me. You're supposed to be on my team. And then Nad's all like, yeah, well, things have changed. Pray I don't change it further. And then Cole was a zombie. That's the plot. Obviously, it's not the plot, but that's the plot of the demo. And once everything kind of changes up, it should be much different. Why is this higher? Oh, I know why. It was a completely different thing. Okay. Alright, I understand. Okay. So basically, they can get away with doing this. Or better now, let's refine the wings before anything. So yeah, I saw the the new Ninja Guide and stuff at the State of Play. It's nice that there's a new Mortal Kombat collection coming. That's been pretty nice. It doesn't have Deception, like it doesn't have any of the 3D Mortal Kombats. And at first I was like, oh, they're trying to erase the history of those 3D Mortal Kombats. That ain't good in good taste, but it's like, maybe they're kind of just saving that for another collection. I'm being delusional. It's not like I'm a giant, I guess I'm not super into the 3D Mortal Kombats, but it's like, those are the first Mortal Kombats that I actually played. Like I was obviously too young to play the Genesis and Super Nintendo Mortal Kombats, so that's kind of just one of those things where it's a nice a thing of history because it has basically every Mortal Kombat up to Mortal Kombat 4, and it has every version of Mortal Kombat. So it's got it's got all the arcade games, but also has both the arcade games, the Genesis Mortal Kombats, Super Nintendo Mortal Kombats. I think it might have the Sega CDs, maybe. It's entirely possible. I saw a Game Boy Mortal Kombat, which is pretty fun. So that kind of caught my interest of seeing the silly Game Boy version of Mortal Kombat. So that's one of those many different things with that State of Play. Digital Eclipse is doing it, so they that's pretty nice. They basically, they're really good with their collections because they have interviews with the devs and things like that. And it was actually pretty cool seeing the trailer with John Tobias in it too, because I hear they're kind of on touchy grounds with a lot of these things, but it's nice to kind of see that little I don't know if it's a touching moment, but it's it's pretty nice. So good for Mortal Kombat. Wish Mortal Kombat, the actual Mortal Kombat, what's it, The newest Mortal Kombat is, I kind of wish it was slightly better. But it is what it is. Yeah, I never hear good things about the current Mortal Kombat games. Here it's kind of a sort of just sloppy to play overall, which is a shame. But, you know, what can you actually do other than, you know, look at how cool the T1000 is, I suppose. Let's see. You know, they remade Final Fantasy Tactics, but Square's kind of like doing that dumb thing with their pixel art where they're overall just smoothing out the pixels for, you know, just making them like weird vector things. It's kind of like the frickin' Vaseline filters. I mean, you can't really do the you know, that diorama pixel art thing, but come on, you know. Yeah, let that go. I've been working on this wing for too long. I'm kind of like, how I make this better. You know, I try to figure out how to just make this wing interesting looking. Maybe just let that go. Yeah, maybe just go sharp, just right off. Just have you go heckin' sharp, just right there. And then I'll use yeah, why not just do this instead? Oh yeah, and they made Marvel versus Capcom without Capcom, so that's kind of funny. So now there's a Marvel fighting game, and it's made by Arc System Works, so that's pretty fascinating. So they're basically just guns for hire overall, and just doing their stuff with that. It is what it is. You know, I'm okay with Marvel stuff overall, and I don't play a lot of fighting games. I mean, you know, good for Marvel for basically being good with like picking a good people to do a good fighting video game. Shame that they kind of left Capcom, but you know, it is what it is. Maybe they'll make a good Capcom fighting all-stars this time. You know, one can only hope. You know, Capcom should be able to make a good, you know, Capcom entire fighting game. It's just, you know, they seem to be cursed to not be able to. So that's a shame. But yeah, it is, you know, there is hope overall. You just gotta believe, bro. You just gotta believe. Just can't believe, kids. Yeah. I don't even know if the Sunny State of Play is still going on. Or everybody's probably just playing Deltarune to not even care. Or they're playing their Switch 2s. There's also another thing. You know, there's a whole lot of stuff happening today, so I mean, yeah, I'm not gonna let that ruin my fun. Yeah, I've just been just doing my own thing as I go. It ain't much, you know. I kind of just been, tackling, just life shit. Not really life stuff, just working on art garbage and not having a panic attack when it comes to writing. So it is what it is with that. I wonder if I could do a pixel art like this. I wonder. Yeah, that kind of works. Probably doesn't work. Probably looks too complicated. Dun, 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 dun. Difficult to make this wing look interesting. It may I'm just going around in circles. It may I'm just being perfectionistic about this wing, Maybe that's just it. Maybe that's just the problem, is I'm being too precious about what's basically an animation sprite. I need to just select it and let it go. Otherwise, I'm gonna end up never getting these sprites done. And this is especially important when you're trying to put yourself on a deadline. And yeah, motherfucker. Copy. Be here, paste. And you should be totally fine here. Okay. All right. Head. I could probably make the wings big, or like make them as large as the head, so that way the sprite just stays even overall. I'll see what I do with the wings. Like, do some stuff here. Make it even with the wings. Make this even here. You know what? Let's onion skin this. Alright. Think I know what I need to do. Put you here. And that way, we just have wings. They're just as low here as they are up there. I could totally get away with it. Ugh. But yeah, once I finish basically just this entire flying animation, because I plan to finish this flying animation, a dive animation, maybe a low flying animation, a swoop. And I think that'll be the animations I'll do for this stream. And then I'll move on to some alternate stuff, because, yeah. That's what I plan to do today. Is actually, I've kind of borked my plans, because I was actually planning on streaming from noon today, but then I kind of just got into working on some other stuff with writing and learning Unity. Well, not Unity, but GB Studios. I kind of like got into a weird this rabbit hole of learning GB Studio. And then I got into a weird rabbit hole of scanning and re-editing art, because one of my friends, he kind of like asked me, hey, do you have a Did you did you have that drawing that I made a while ago of a dragon, a female dragon? I was like, yeah, let me go get in my archives, and it turns out that I actually didn't scan that. I just took a picture of it on my phone, but I never really scanned it. So I'm like, okay, let me go dig in my PDFs. Luckily, it was in my PDFs, so it's no problem to just get that down. No problem. And then I was like, oh, there's so much other art that I still hadn't edited or put into a ding or even uploaded. So I just did that. And a lot of it was kind of just me coming to terms with the fact that I never upload shit. Like, I've had a bunch of digital arts things that are just always unfinished. I just flat out was like, you know what? Let's just post it. Nobody's ever gonna be paying attention, so I might as well just post the damn thing. So I posted it. It does fine on social media because, of course, and I'm always just overthinking my bullshit. And also, half of it's probably just me being just lazy. I do not like coloring my art. I do not like sitting in front of my screen, even with a new chair, which is adequately comfortable. It's not perfect now that I'm kind of sitting on this for more periods of time. It's still a bit meshy. It's like a mesh Herman Miller chair. It's not as good as I hoped it would be, working with it right now. But I got it for $1,000 when this Herman Miller was worth $3,000. So it's possible that I still overpaid even with that, but still, it's still more of a discount than if I would have actually just went online and just bought the damn thing. So I'll consider this the only W I've got right now. It's something. This looks better. It overall just looks better. Yeah, that looks better. Yeah, I don't know why I'm kind of just being precious about these wings. There comes a point where you get so deep into the stupid thing that you're like, you know what? Let's just push that. It's one of those things. You think, oh, no one's actually gonna notice the animation, but people do notice. A lot of people, they will see my animations, they'll be like, yeah, and they'll realize that what you do is, what I do overall matters. Meh. And you get compliments. You get compliments and praise and shit like that. And you're getting a good job, and of course you gotta take the compliment, because otherwise you're just gonna feel like crap overall. It's my IFT finally streaming. My stupid freaking bot. I don't like that bot, the IFT. The if then thing. Because it's just so fickle. And I think it's kind of like being an AI health thing again. I'm kind of like, can you do anything without just trying to automate the crap out of my life? Can you at least do that? Alright, grabs. First things first. Alright. Fascinating. I'm gonna get that going. Okay. Now you're looking pretty fine. I could probably do some things like this. Copy. Be you. You look pretty good. Grab him with sword. And I feel like sword overall should be like this. I feel like it's lower for some reason. Like the claw looks fine, it just looks lower. It's just me. All right, then I can just duplicate the head here. Duplicate the body here. Okay. All right, so far so good with that. All right, so let's go back to all the fly animations. So far so good with the body. Gotta grab, bah, bah. Sword, dive. Looks almost identical, huh? All that's left to do, Control S, save the head, or at least make a whole new head. That'll work. Do a fast stretch, do a little stretchy. That should be fantastic. 50 minutes in, I've got a body done. That's slow as fuck. So, yeah, I ain't happy about that. But I'm gonna have to live with it, because that's how that be. Yeah. Alright. So how's his head looking? Like, let me, I actually haven't, made a actual proper design of these owls. Okay. Okay, I think I know how I'm gonna tackle this, so let's work on this head, huh? First things first. No, unlock you. That's gonna be fascinating seeing a Marvel game without Capcom. I mean, I'm not like a giant fanboy or nothing, but it is one of those things where it feels like the end of an era. But then again, after Infinite, I feel like it's kind of was always gonna be like that. Motherfucker. Yeah, well. I'd rather like have the top, like the absolute pinnacle of everything. Okay. I know it's up now. There we are. Looks a bit more aesthetic. Nice, like little owl scar. That is how it kind of looks like a Angry Birds owl. Well, probably not. Is there an owl in Angry Birds? I don't even know. Probably is, but I'm not paying attention. Probably doesn't even matter. Probably does. I don't know if there are any big Angry Birds fans out there. But then again, you know, you got kids who are nostalgic for just vague stuff. I know I've kind of just been feeling nostalgic lately. Yeah, I just been thinking about like old stuff that I'm kind of just not doing overall. I guess I long for some odd college days sometimes where I'm hard at work, just in my desk, not needing to worry about my debt or worrying about getting a project just down, just me deep focusing on the dream project that seems to possibly solve my problems, you know, get the thing that fills your, I suppose, creative soul. You don't feel extreme bouts of competition, and you don't feel like every time you're resting, you're yielding ground to other artists who are better than you and considering them your competition. I'm of two weird minds when it comes to being competitive about art. On the one hand, obviously a healthy, mentally sane person would be like, of course you don't like declare it a competition. That's psychotic to want to make it a competition. You will just end up destroying yourself and everyone to quote unquote win. Thing is, you still gotta, you know, demonstrate why you should be the person and not someone else. Ah, damn it. Damn it, damn it, damn it, damn it, damn it. lot of times I kind of like feel like I'm falling behind on a lot of stuff when it comes to, oh, you're not a true artist because you're not doing such and such thing. You're not actively pitching shows since you're not an animator, or you're not constantly making games. You're not game maker. So it can be easy to assume that you're never enough because, yeah, something, we live in a society, something, and you feel potentially useless overall because you're not being the most optimal motherfucker in the room. You're not being beyond, you're not absolutely a art superstar. So it can be easy to just despair about it. Believe me. The one thing that I can, take solace in is a majority of artists really aren't like that. Life ain't like Whiplash. It's kind of funny because you see the movie Whiplash and it's essentially a sports movie, but for jazz and stuff like that. Of course, when you actually meet, jazz people, are like, no, we just like talking about cool jazz musicians. We're not crazy hyper competitive about this shit. And honestly, that's true. They aren't. Like, this ain't the most, at the end of the day, it's just, being creative. It's not life or death if you're not the most creative person in the universe. Though it could be life or death these days. I don't know. Sometimes I go live my life and I feel like I just never have anything together, and that everyone else has more stuff together. But then you go on Blue Sky and you see like somebody is about to be incest married to their cousin. And it's kind of like, short of reposting, what the fuck can I actually do? But then again, I actually didn't even repost because what the fuck could I say about that? Like, oh no, we still live in a world where fucking incest marriages are a thing and fucking honor killings are a goddamn thing because the United States is a fucking backwards Mad Max universe. And I'm like, you'd hope that we'd be beyond shit like this. And then, I don't know if it's going to, I hope that person turns out well, but it's like, there hits a point where I'm kind of like, I'm now kind of just facing the unreality of the world and wondering, why not just let the world just fucking die? It just doesn't feel like it's, this world's worth saving, Like, why participate in society when society is just untenable, So it can be easy to kind of just think that way, because, yeah, motherfucker. Oh, shit. Nuts. Yeah. God damn it. I keep borking this body, man. Alright. This is normal. Okay. Okay. Alright. All I need to do is this. That should be good. I probably add a little bit more flair. But right now, this just looks good. Looks pretty good. Owls can grab. Owls can fly. It looks similar and similar enough, but honestly, you know, it looks fine. Also, I'm gonna bring be a thing that's I suppose bothering me. Kind of shouldn't be bothering me, but let's see. One of the head turns was incorrect. Okay, you're incorrect. So now the scar's remedied. So now the scar's just always on one side. I mean, it's kind of a dumb change if you know, the character's gonna flip one way, but it is what it is with that. Honestly, maybe this should just be its idle animation. Just its head turn. I think I kind of just have this for aesthetic reasons. I need more ice in my thing. Ah, well. I'm drinking a what's it called? Advanced GG. And I got this like lemon lime flavor. Tastes more like lemon, but whatever. It's a citrus thing. And I mostly got it because it was like a Robotech Pro that they were having at C2E2. Like, ironically, they weren't at Anime Central, but it is what it is. I think more people at C2E2 will know about Robotech than anime people will know about Macross and stuff like that. So it's like, you know, why not? So, yeah, I got this Robotech bottle. And I realized I probably should just spend more for the ice shaker because it's probably insulated. Because on the one hand, the you know, this, you know, the bottle's fine. It's got like, you know, it's a plastic thing. It's got, you know, the Robotech illustration on it, so it's kind of cool. Yeah, it looks kind of cool when it has its like Robotech special flavor that has energy and stuff like that. Still not as energetic as coffee, so I'm not happy about that. But it is a well, it's not really a good replacement for energy drinks since it's still not as energetic, but you know, it's convinced me to kind of just stay home overall. Still, I mean, the tubs are $40, which is like, that's a little steep overall. And I mean, admittedly, for the price I'd spend on energy drinks, so it's like, yeah, let me bust out my calculator real fast. Where's my calculator? Alright, so I'm just gonna bring out my calculator just to do some insane math here. So let's see, maybe I'm gonna say like energy drinks are getting heckin' expensive, so maybe like $5 an energy drink. Yeah, because they're getting kind of expensive now that I'm kind of like doing it. And I get like 2 a day because I'm a dumbass. So I blow like $10 a day, which is already awful. So like times that by maybe like, you know what? I'm gonna just be truthful to myself and say that I do this every day, like every business day, so 5 times a day. I'm blowing $50 on energy drinks a week. So if I'm blowing $50 on energy drinks a week, and I buy this tub and it's lasted me for the past month, overall it is a saving. I do save. So that's you know, I am saving. But it's like the energy that I get from you know, the advanced GG subs, it still just doesn't feel enough. And I want to just dump powder into the liquid like an insane person, because that just already just sounds unhealthy. But then again, my coffee intake's still just so much. I mean, I'm getting fatter, of course. I am basically just getting chonk, and my mom commented on the fact that my belly's just getting huge. I mean, that's my life as a person who just sits all the damn time. It is what it is. Kinda sucks though that I am bad at taking a diet, because I am overall just bad at avoiding sugar, I suppose. Probably should take a break, at least stand. Probably should stand. Yeah, fuck it. I'm gonna take a break, and I will be right back. Bada boom, I return. I'm back. Hey, Usagoji, welcome. Welcome to the Masked Friend art stream. Yes, you've been bombarded by ads, because I actually purposely turned on ads because I was taking a break. It makes sense. But yeah, things have been pretty good so far. Kind of like taking a break, working on this owl. So far, so good. I've got it actually proper flying right now. In fact, I can probably have you export it right now. I could probably just have you export right now. Yeah, damage, down, fly. Yeah, I hope you've been doing well. I've been pretty decent. Trying to just get more time to kind of stretch. Yes, welcome back. Hope you've been doing well, getting a nice lunch, getting the drink on, all that stuff. I'm currently polishing some development stuff for this owl enemy, and so far so good. I've gotten some significant progress on it flying, so it essentially can fly around, so I'm pretty happy about this. Yes, can fly around, fly while grabbing, fly with a sword. So all that's left is some dive animations, dying, I guess dying and rotating its head. Probably gonna, work that somehow. Low flying, I'd probably work this another way, where I swap places. It is what it is. But yeah, let's actually just start exporting these first. Yeah, we'll just export the flying and the grab animations first. Export to as sprite sheets. Bada bing, bada boom, merge duplicates. Alright. And so far we have a polished variant of these flight animations. Yeah, these will just be collectively the flight animation. Yes, thank you very much. Yeah, they're certainly Game Boy inspired. And the hope is that, you'll see the other monochrome stuff, and everything will be just nice and portable. But yeah, this September, hopefully, I'll have a playable demo to actually show off, and then you can play the game for yourself. We do have a playable build, but it still feels floaty, and all the buttons aren't in the right spot, plus, all the enemy behavior is not to Adam's liking, so we'll figure that out as we go. Yes. Okay. Have a nice bit of breathing room. So I think what I'll start doing is polishing this. I got some options. I could work on the low animation, or I could work on the high stuff. I think I'll do this actually. Unlink. And have you just be this. Okay. Bada bing, bada boom. So how have you been, Usagoji? How have things been with you? I don't know if, wait, no, I think Henshin Gun was, with Andy when it was, when they was at Kaiju Brooklyn, so I was kind of just admiring that from a distance. So far so good with that. I've been overall pretty decent. Been I have a week off of my day job, so I'm kind of just using this time as much as I can to kind of just take advantage of being here, you know, just with the free time, just doing my work. Though most of the week has been me writing more than drawing, really. Like I was, you know, you spend most of the school year chomping at the bit to get back to drawing, only to realize that, oh, you need to write more because there's a bunch of story stuff that you need to get done. So you end up kind of just in this funny little, I want to call it a limbo, but kind of a, I don't know, a state of catch up where you're trying to get a whole bunch of different, I don't know, because it's mostly story writing, honestly. It's mostly me trying to write this draft of the demo story, and sometimes yeah, exactly. You feel in a rut. Yeah, rut. Getting in a rut with writing in general is totally normal. Like, I've been in a rut overall myself. Especially, I think a lot of that rut is self-doubt, where you never feel like you're good enough, that what you're doing is either not good enough or too cringe or isn't correct overall for, like, I guess what people might like. And it's difficult to really gauge with that, because if you're going around without significant feedback, that can be an issue with knowing whether or not you're actually good or you're being delusional. So it can be easy to kind of feel that what you're doing might not be the right path. So, you know, I totally get you with you being in a rut, because yeah, that can really be tough overall with being just stuck. You have all the time in the world. You overall like have time off, or you finish all your chores for the day. You don't have to help any family members with any like injuries and things like that, and you just have all the time in the world, and you're at your writing desk and you just draw blank. Yeah, I can come up with good ideas, but putting them all into story form is a challenge for me. Yeah, same exactly. That's the thing that I'm kind of like confronting for myself, is dealing with putting them together as a story. One thing that has been helping me is kind of like actually rereading the thing and doing some tiny things like a spell checking, like actually getting into your file, whether it's like a Word file or just you reprinted your thing, or you're looking at your notebook and you're kind of like writing stuff and rereading. Is just, I think the act of just being in the vicinity of your writing helps you at least start. That's, I suppose, the reason why participation trophies are kind of like the thing, is to get you to actually show up, as opposed to, because I feel like participation trophies aren't for validating someone's ego. It's more for just getting you to actually just show up. You know how showing up is 99% of the battle? That's kind of like that I'm kind of like, I guess, putting together, is the fact that I bothered to arrive here means that I am overall just doing good. So that's always just a good way to kind of just get yourself started, is kind of just be in vicinity of your writing. So that's been helping me slightly, and it's actually got me it's kind of dumb, because it actually got me altering one of my drafts for a different character moment. So currently, for the demo, and I guess in context of the story, Cole, my raccoon character, he hires his Tanuki character. He hires Nad the Tanuki as a mercenary for hire to help him find the treasure. But of course, my Tanuki is an enemy, as I've been like talking about it for most of my social media posts. So essentially, Nad betrays Cole and cheats him, and basically just now has to fight. So that's kind of a little twist of like, okay, how do I just get them up to this moment? So I end up thinking of a thing where, they completely alter the confrontation, where Cole leaves the temple after solving the dungeon and stuff like that. And after he solves the dungeon, that's when Nad attacks and says, "Hey, give me the treasure." And Cole's like, "No." And then Nad has the bear beat him up and take the stuff. And now Cole has to find a way off the island, or he'll be marooned there. That's something. That's, it's not much. And I also don't even know if the stakes are interesting enough that, that is compelling enough, but it's some kind of motivation. It's kind of there. So yeah, it is what it is with that. I haven't really run this by my program that much, but it's mostly just me sort of wing it. Admittedly, it's probably not a good idea of me to be doing this by myself, so isolated. You tend to isolate yourself when writing, and it can be a problem if you end up kind of making yourself unwilling to go find feedback. So that's also another thing that's kind of like been my, no pun intended, albatross overall, is needing to just go get some feedback. Yeah, so he'd be like, "You shouldn't have trusted me this whole time." This is kind of funny, because a raccoon would be like, "Well, I was supposed to be the shifty guy here, and I guess I just got caught." So it's kind of just one of those things where, where I'm figuring out, Nad's characterization overall, because it's kind of funny. I like Nad's design to the point where I'm like, why doesn't he be like a rival character to Cole? And that way he would be arriving more often in the game. That's kind of just one of those things. Because I do like the idea of the tail quiver and stuff like that, like him having cool trick arrows in his tail. Okay. Right head. That looks awful. Good thing we have a head to cover all that mistake up. All right. What's the shortcut for? Nope. What's the shortcut for just swapping the selection? Inverse. That was Control Shift I. There's a few shortcuts in my A sprite where I haven't changed them up to be on my left side of the keyboard. Because a nice rule of thumb when it comes to doing digital art stuff is, you know, putting most of the shortcut keys that you use on one side so you don't have to worry about it. More ads. All right. We'll take a break for a bit. And I will skip out for a bit. But for those who have survived, you know, subscribe to me to avoid all these nasty little ads. You will be an improved oh, that's fascinating. Oh, okay, I know what's wrong. Erase that body. Bada bing, bada boom. I think 3 minutes are up. Because usually the ads are set up where they don't show up often, but they're longer overall ads. At least that's how I set it up, so that they just show up less often in general. But that could probably be an issue. Yeah, learn how to short hop, bro. I have no idea how to play KOF, but I've been curious about learning how to play KOF. I hear KOF is the big game that Smash Bros. Is inspired by, so I'm curious about that. It is what it is. Yeah, well, they should like make the wing larger. That way it won't take up so much freaking space. Twitch's being weird with commercials. Yeah, welcome back. Any other side characters? So, you know, I have Captain Rhodes and the green, not the Adiva Verde True, so it's like Captain Rhodes, Dr. Delgado, and a lot of Bigotes. and then maybe like a few other like NPCs. I actually they were initially there to be like NPCs to talk to, and I was at like a deer side character to talk to. I think the deer was my first NPC that I made for Cole to be able to talk to. Of course, then I had this had this idea of the demo being on the top of an island. I'm kind of like, that would be out of place for that deer, so it's one of those things. I do want to get to making a town, because that's probably where I just really will shine, is just doing some city building and just adding other NPCs. Because I certainly want to just, I think overall I think this game is just me flexing my ability to just character design. I think if anything, even if this game doesn't, if this game doesn't sell well, I hope this can be just a testament of just me just doing cool character design, honestly. Probably, obviously there's more to video games than character design stuff, but it's like, I'm an artist, I kind of just care more about that overall. So, and that's kind of just how that goes. I do want to at least make a good game, so I mean, I'm not shooting to make something awful. It's just, I'm running around slightly unexperienced at doing this, and there really isn't a instruction booklet on how to make video games or how to game design. Kind of, the most you've got is maybe a YouTube channels like Game Design Tools Kit, maybe some like fucking video game essay, but it's like, you can trust that with a massive grain of salt. It's kind of weird, because I am skeptical of a lot of video essays these days, because I say these days most YouTube criticism you could trust at most with throwing them. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. There's one foot in the door. Yeah, exactly. Like, that's one big positive thing that I gotta take in overall. Like, at the end of the day, the fact that by completing this, you can tell yourself and everyone else that you meet, hey, I made a video game, and it's not a lie. It's also another thing of kind of just gassing yourself up a bit, is that kind of gotta take the W's where you can. And just the fact that I could probably ship a video game will be a humongous thing if I want to like work for a game company in general, because I was formerly a game tester. That's actually how I met my programmer. He was also a game tester at Game Refuge Inc., where I guess the creator of Rampage like ran that company. That was his company, Brian Colin. And me and my programmer friend, we were testing a game called Foot Planet. It's this dating sim game that some like venture capitalist wanted us to make, and it was not very good. It was trying to incorporate Facebook integrations back in the day when like Farmville and shit was big. They wanted to like make that the big thing. You had a lot of venture capitalists trying to make the next Farmville, but of course, there's a whole host of things that goes into making a Facebook game overall. But yeah, essentially we were doing that, and we were also incorporating that with just basically like social media. So imagine a dating sim mixed with what's it called, Tinder. Well, actually no, Tinder wasn't out at the time, so it would be Shoot, what was that one, like a dating website that was before Tinder? 23andMe? No. Dang, like they're now so irrelevant that I now can't remember them. But it was like, you know, it was the dating website. What was that dating website? You know what? If I can't remember, it's just that irrelevant, you know? But yeah, it's kind of just one of those things where it was trying to just jump into that. So I was testing the game like that. And, you know, obviously it wasn't that good. But it was an important experience because testing a video game taught me more about, I guess, the process of making video games than actually going to college and you know, hanging out with other game design people, because you essentially had to just be in it overall in order to make this work. And you know, it's a valuable experience overall, so I wouldn't knock getting a game testing job in general. Obviously it's a slog, especially if you're trying to get into higher positions, like actually making video games and trying to like get your foot in that way. It was, you know, it can be a problem, especially if you're doing like a bigger game. Like I couldn't imagine game testing something larger like an Assassin's Creed or an Elder Scrolls or even like a Grand Theft Auto or anything like that. Like I could not imagine, because essentially game testing is going completely against your normal video game instincts in order to find bugs. So you are walking your character into walls, you are clicking things outside of like general timing, you're trying to mash buttons at the same time to make sure that you know, they can't be mashed at the same time. Essentially speedrunners are the perfect game testers, really. Like you're doing essentially learning how to speed run without doing the cool like backwards long jump stuff. But essentially you're trying to do everything you can to break the game, essentially. You know, that's game testing. And essentially you gotta just do the wrong thing. You gotta like go against your general gaming instincts, like use a well, not a DLC item, but like a you know, the fucking microtransaction item, and make sure that it actually checks and calls up the PayPal correctly, because otherwise it won't actually register that. And there's some like things where you can, you know, the programmer will test dummy accounts and stuff like that. All right. Yeah, I don't like how that looks. I feel like this wing should actually be more out here. Yeah. But yeah, game testing is one of those jobs where it's fine, but I wouldn't want to do it again. But I do have a great respect, or at least a greater appreciation for game testers. Like, they are obviously unsung heroes of the games industry. It's not a glorious job, and people will probably shit on them most times, because a lot of people think game testers, you think, oh, people who are the lowest common denominator, and they're the reason why games aren't as difficult. Yeah, I don't see myself as a game tester going by my description. Oh yeah, because yeah, essentially your job as a game tester is to be completely incorrect to what you normally would do when playing a game regularly. Plus, you gotta write that down. So if you find a bug, not only do you need to write that down, you gotta be able to recreate that bug. So you gotta actually be able to recreate it to confirm that that's actually legit, or you end up like finding something wrong. And it can be tough to recreate the bug because most times you're kind of like, something bad happens, you're just clicking around, kind of like go through the world, and something weird happens and you don't know how you did it, and you are trying to reproduce it, you have no idea how to reproduce it, and you're kind of like blowing hours trying to figure that out, and you have no idea how to explain it to programmers and stuff like that. So that's also a whole host of tasks that you gotta figure out with that. Luckily, you know, I didn't have to do that for long because I think I worked at a game refuge for, I think, 1 year, if I remember right, because that's, I think 2013 to 2014. No, yeah, 20, because I started Game Refuge like, I think the month after I graduated college. And if I remember right, I graduated college in 2012, if I'm doing the math right. And it's been so long that I kind of just don't care. But that's how that goes, where you're trying to essentially remember what you were supposed to be doing. Let's see now. Yeah, fuck it. Yeah, because I'm an insane person. Motherfucker. I moved the head wrong. I bet I fucking moved the head like an idiot. Yeah, there was a way to move this owl head without screwing things over. How did I do that? Okay, you can all move here. Oh yeah, of course not. It's kind of funny because I'm currently on and off watching Tim Rogers' fucking video essay on LA Noire because I love Tim Rogers. Like, I watched through all of Tokimeki Memorial, all of its Doom video essay, so it's kind of like, yeah, totally, I'll watch a thing about LA Noire, even though LA Noire is not a game that I gave that much of a fuck about. So, you know, it was interesting kind of having him try to pitch LA Noire to me overall. So, it's kind of fascinating with that game because it is a more legit mystery game than I gave it credit for overall. You know what? Could I simply flip this? Yeah, I still haven't got to the end of it though, because I'm kind of like watching it on and off. Plus, yeah, there's a whole bunch of like other things that I just want to watch instead. Like Kamen Rider Ichigo. You know, I'm watching the original Kamen Rider, and in a tiny charming way it rules. Like, you're just seeing a very by the numbers superhero show. And you're kind of just seeing essentially the buildings of, I suppose, modern day Kamen Rider, where you're seeing, you're seeing like completely alternate ways of how he finishes off enemies. Like, he does right now, he is about to finish enemies with a rider kick, but then he finishes enemies off with a rider chop, and that's how he defeated the chameleon. So it's kind of one of those things where there are some little things that are out of, it's a lot of early installment weirdness, and you think, how on earth do they build up to the, the modern day Kamen Rider that we know and love? And it's kind of fascinating, especially after seeing Shin Kamen Rider, because I think the main reason why I'm kind of just in this Toku binge overall is because, one, Godzilla -1 is great. Thank you, Andy, for recommending me that. But also, I saw Shin Kamen Rider and kind of just seeing a lot of these, I guess I'm seeing anime without needing to watch anime these days, because it's like, I think for a bit I was getting a little tired of anime, and it kind of felt like, okay, a lot of anime was kind of just feeling samey for me. But then I was kind of like watching, I saw Godzilla -1, it looks great, and I saw freaking Shin Ultraman, that was pretty good. Then Shin Godzilla, and I was like, oh wow, Tokusatsu, it has special effects with an actual budget, because I was so used to the original Power Rangers. It's martial arts, legit actual practical special effects, but it all just looks so cheap. But honestly, watching classic Kamen Rider, I'm actually kind of in awe of how they utilize that budget. Like, they're doing, like, have you ever seen those Mega 64 Dragon Ball Z in 5 minutes series where they're basically like explaining an entire Dragon Ball Z saga in 5 minutes, and they're like doing it very low budget costumes, low budget effects, and you're seeing some crazy cool stuff, like they're using miniatures or using action figures. And that's sort of the same with Kamen Rider Ichi, is they're using little figurines or little stop motion moments to kind of like demonstrate things like enemies dissolving or humans dissolving, or having strange like effects, like chameleon just disappearing. It's kind of just boom, he vanishes in the camera, and you're seeing like a little wrench motions and things like that. So it's kind of just one of those things where it's like you end up feeling impressed with all the simpler ways of doing practical effects so far. Hey, Sesman, welcome. And yeah, I get you. I usually stick with older anime and you want more Toku. Oh yeah, that's one of those things. Oh, one thing that I've also been watching recently is Thunderbolt Fantasy. So I saw the puppets at Anime Central. Last like April and stuff like that. And it's a show about puppets, essentially. It's basically just really damn good puppet show stuff. Like the puppet models are just hand carved, like legit like Taiwanese puppet models. Like the actual like flowing robes, they're actually using like big string systems to send them around. They have like billions of things of articulation, like right down to the face and stuff like that. It's insanity. So I've been watching Thunderbolt Fantasy, and it's pretty wide and numbers story wise, but it's like all the fights are legit. Like if you, it's a giant step up from something like Thunderbirds or even just the Muppets. Like you're seeing, like, no, that's kind of uncomparable, but it's sort of comparable, where it's like you're seeing Muppets, but it's an action thing. Like it's in the genre of people are just doing puppet stuff and they're incredible at it. So I recommend Thunderbolt Fantasy if you want to see that. I've been I guess mooching off my friend's Crunchyroll account and kind of just catching episodes that way. But yeah, you know, catching old anime and stuff like that. My friend recommended that I see what's it, Bubblegum Christ? No, not yeah, Bubblegum Christ. No. Gunsmith Cats, I think. And it's kind of funny because Gunsmith Cats takes place in the lawless city of Chicago. It's kind of funny with that, kind of just seeing things like that. But my friend actually met the director of Gunsmith Cats like a while ago, and he was taking a lot of, like, you know, he was vacationing, taking a lot of reference photos to you know, get Chicago completely accurate. And I do want to watch that show just to see how accurate his stuff is. So I wanted to catch Gunsmith Cats just to see how well that is. Yeah, Super Mario Nation, that's what it's called. Yeah, it's or no, not Super Mario Nation, but Marionette Nation. Honestly, that's probably right. That's probably the correct thing. Super Mario Nation. But yeah, it's beyond Thunderbirds. Like, this is basically take Thunderbirds, but then just make legit fight scenes. Honestly, if they wanted to make a new Thunderbirds, they could get that team there. That's one thing that I wish they would do with action movies. Oh, commercials are happening again. All right. You know what? I shall take a break. I will be right back. Shashush, I return. Thank you for the follow, Sagoji. Yes, commercials are rough, and it's easy to watch on YouTube. Oh yeah, I'm also simul-streaming on Picarto as well. I don't know if that's working too, but I've actually had that account for a while when I, used to simul-stream with Restream, and then I kind of just stopped doing the Restream because Twitch was kind of weird about Restreaming until recently. But yeah, it's been pretty alright overall. Plus I do save these VODs on YouTube. I have like a YouTube archive channel. So I do some light editing with a lot of these VODs. I even like take out my breaks and things like that. So, you know, you can see it overall ad-free, and you're kind of like seeing, I guess, me meander with a lot of my stuff with this. You know what? Let's freaking increase the canvas size, because I think I'm kind of like fighting the canvas right now. Alright, now we got a bit more freedom, eh? We're all over the place, G. So what was I talking about previously? I think I was talking about Thunderbolt Fantasy. And Thunderbolt Fantasy is pretty good. Gunsmith Cats thing that I've been catching before. Yeah, thank you for stopping by. Yeah, you're here. Alright. Flow fly. Yeah, let's just do a dive and let that go for a bit. Or better yet, let's finish this swoop, and then we'll let go. But yeah, I've been trying to get into older anime overall, and honestly just reading more manga. Reading manga has been more of an interesting experience for me personally. Like, I've been reading One Piece, and it's a way faster read than actually watching the anime. I don't know what kind of insane person would watch the anime. Like, absolutely not. Do not watch the anime, read the manga. Honestly, I feel like that's kind of just a universal for just any show, is you are always just better off reading the manga from the start, because the manga is overall just a faster read. Of course, you know, you could be dyslexic. In that case, you know, maybe that's probably not for you, but I guess for me, I just have an easier time reading the manga over watching an anime and waiting for the subtitles to finish, because I can read subtitles way faster than I can write. Plus, sometimes a lot of like Japanese voices can be a little annoying and distracting, because I think in my brain I struggle to try to catch what they're saying, even though I know that I can't understand Japanese. My brain, for some reason, right, I need to understand this. Why don't I understand it? And it's kind of like flubbing with me sometimes when I'm watching some foreign movies. And you know, it's okay, but it's one of those things where I'll just read the manga. I have my own, like, I guess, yeah, I can read faster than I can, I guess, listen to a voice overall. Which isn't to say that I'm completely against a show, like completely against like watch a show. I think if I have zero knowledge that there's a manga, I'm more likely to watch the anime. Like if it's an anime exclusive thing, I'll watch it as an anime. But if it's like probably the typical flavor of the month shonen anime, I'll probably just catch the manga, because usually it's faster paced, it's further ahead, and I don't have to worry about spoilers because it's overall further ahead. I have to really wait to see the next part, because you know, most anime is made to advertise the manga at the end of the day. So, you know, you have sold me on the manga, so I will buy that. So, I guess other anime that I've kind of just been trying to catch up with. Not much. I think at the moment I've kind of just been a little tapped out on shows, I suppose. Let's see. I saw Sinners. That's a recent movie I've seen. Sinners is solid. I recommend Sinners if you are into the blues as a music genre, like the history of the blues and stuff like that. And of course, you know, there's vampires in that movie, so if you're waiting for that, that's also there. Of course, you know, it's not really the focus of the movie, honestly, but, you know, it's there. It's right there. But yeah, there's Sinners. I saw Thunderbolts. Thunderbolts is a strong Marvel movie. You know, it's stronger than people will give it credit for, so I recommend Thunderbolts. Let's see. Been seeing... I totally will see the new Superman movie, because those trailers are actually looking solid. Like, I had a lot of doubts that another damn Superman movie was going to be good, but yeah, it might be just good. It's just one of those things where I would have to convince myself to actually see it, because, you know, for a bit I was totally tapped out on a lot of superhero movies, because one, my experience watching Avengers Endgame was just so crap that I was like, you know what, for the price of a Netflix subscription, like, I might as well just say, yeah, I'm not gonna go. So Yeah, it's kind of just one of those things. But I guess I just missed the experience of actually going there, so I still end up going, even though there's just so many reasons not to. Because I live out in I guess, you know, I live out in like Joliet and stuff like that. You probably know that, but you know, it's very it's probably the second most populated city in Illinois. So, you know, you got a lot of people there. So you just have a lot of just rowdy crowds and things like that. So it can be kind of annoying sometimes. And I don't really have like a Alamo draft house or anything where I live, so there's no, I guess, culture of making you shut the fuck up at a movie theater. But maybe one day. Yeah, Jurassic World Rebirth looks promising. Yeah, I suppose. I'm not a gigantic Jurassic Park fan overall, so, you know, it's kind of like I'm overall indifferent on Jurassic Park as a thing. I did see the Chris Pratt Jurassic Park in theaters, I suppose, but other than that, I never really saw much in terms of, well, I saw the original trilogy, but other than that, like, I really wasn't super, I'm not that interested in Jurassic Park, I guess. Let's see. A lot of the movies were interesting in the trailers. I certainly did not want to see the fucking Lilo and Stitch movie, because why would I even watch some live action Disney anything? That's insane to me. Why would you tell me to do that? You crazy motherfucker. But no, I ain't gonna watch a freaking live action Disney movie. I do not hear good things about that movie at all. That's kind of just one of those things where I will live and let live with the Lilo and Stitch movie. Let's see. I mean, what else could they really make after all this? I suppose I hear there's rumors that they're making an Atlantis movie, which, I mean, that wouldn't be the worst thing to make live action, because Atlantis is a fairly realistic Disney movie. It's more of a down-to-earth, like, I could see it as a regular action movie, but other than that, like Atlantis, yeah, I wouldn't watch an Atlantis live action movie, because, you know, it is what it is. Yeah, I'm not really gonna see fucking any live action Disney anything, because, like, I just don't care enough. I already saw the animated thing. Let's see. Zootopia 2. I actually haven't seen the trailer at all. I hear they're putting reptiles in there, which is going to be fascinating for them to explain how the fuck they managed to go an entire movie without seeing reptiles. So that's gonna be fascinating. Let's see. I'm literally like thinking of the movies off the top of my head. Oh yeah, Fantastic Four. Looks alright. You know, it's we're going, what, the fourth reboot of Fantastic Four. And they're doing Robert Downey Jr. as Doctor Doom. I mean, I don't know if he's actually gonna show up in the movie itself, but it's like one of those things where I'm legit worried that it's actually not even going to be that interesting. But I mean, I'm sure, I think at worst, a Fantastic Four movie will be mid. You know, it's one of those things where it's like, that's the worst that can happen, is it's gonna be adequate and people will say, yeah, it was fine. It's I now kind of see Marvel movies like how I see Pixar movies, where it's like they're so good that I'm now kind of uninterested in them. Same with a lot of Nintendo games these days. Like, I'm sure Nintendo's still pretty solid, but they're now at this point where I'm not chomping at the bit to see new Nintendo stuff, which is why I'm not really getting a Switch, even if, you know, it's like it's got the greatest games imaginable, because, you know, the Switch doesn't really appeal to me. Oh, hey, Rhythm Master, welcome. Welcome to the fine stream. Hoot indeed. Ooh. Yes, we are indeed working on a cool oh, it's blinking. But, yeah, we are slowly and steadily making things better. I have the owl able to carry a sword, so it's looking pretty rad with that. It's able to walk on the ground. So I managed to get that done. So now it's mostly a matter of getting like a little dive animation with this. Plus, maybe get some blocking in that. Little curl swing. Yeah, probably. Hey, we gotta go. Excellent work so far. Yes, thank you. Thanks for stopping by. But yeah, so far so good with a lot of stuff. Let's tighten this death animation. Unlink this. We're going to basically get this rolling. Tighten this down. Get you here. Get a better, get a more concise feather look, and then that way that'll just look more aesthetic. Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of funny with like the Switch 2 and stuff like that. They still haven't announced any new F-Zero stuff. And honestly, I kind of like feel at this point that it's probably just super dead. Like F-Zero's probably just dead. I guess I've just completely black-pilled on that stuff. F-Zero's just not coming back, bro. Captain Falcon just ain't coming back. He's gone forever. Gurney did a video on F-Zero the other day. Oh yeah, I should check that out. Actually, I've never heard of Gurney. I'm sure it's a solid video essay person. I'm still trying to get through the Tim Rogers video essay, so I've kind of just been watching that for, I'd say, the past few days. Because I'm an insane person. And Tim Rogers is a really good speaker. But yeah, LNUR is an interesting game. Like I'm not super, like when it came out, I wasn't super up to finding it because one, it's a simple detective game. But I think before I played Phoenix Wright, I wasn't super into games like that. So then, you know, you play Phoenix Wright and you end up watching more Better Call Saul. It kind of just start getting into just crime fiction and stuff like that. So is L.A. Noire on the PC actually? Yeah, let me see. Ah, you have a YouTube link. Okay. Put you in the watch later for all the fun times. You know what? Let me also check my Steam page. If L.A. Noire is also L.A. Noire. Yes, L.A. Noire is indeed on PC. So if you want to go with Tim Rogers' long spiel and play the video game yourself. LNUR is indeed on Steam, so that's fantastic. But yes, indeed, indeed. Alright, how's this owl looking? Oh, you're kind of blinking. Alright, so let's see if we can get you rolling. Alright, so far so good. Kind of shifting, so that's good. So it looks like he's kind of like diving. And of course, if you reduce the amount of frames, okay. It's a little too much with that here, because I want the tail wings to fly more than the back wings, so probably have the shoulders here. Copy this, and then we just paste the pixels here. Now it's looking slightly more pleasing. Go back to that. Yeah, because it needs to look like it's reacting to wind. Alright. So what I could probably do with this green. Oh. Ah, damn it. Sometimes when you're drawing on layers, you end up putting stuff in the wrong spot. Lucky for me, I can just stick things here. We're all hunky-dory. We're all hunky-dory little babies. Yes, Deltarune is today. Yes, thank you, Steam, for letting me know. I'm not super interested in playing Deltarune because I never, like, played Undertale. No, it's kind of spoiled the crap for me, so it's like, even if I played Undertale, I guess all the magic is kind of ruined. So, whatever Undertale's offering, I probably just missed the boat on that, unfortunately. Yeah, well, it's kind of just one of those things. Yeah, everything I see with Undertale just, you know, it looks pretty alright. You know, everyone's, you know, it looks like it's worth the hype. It's like playing Final Fantasy VII for the first time, like the actual original PlayStation 1. And yeah, it is indeed worth the hype, just actually playing that game. I still need to get through Final Fantasy VII. I think I remember I got myself walled fighting against dying. So that was kind of a little thing that I had to deal with. Yeah. Alright. Alright, that should look good. That pixel's blinky. Probably put that there. Alright, head. That's fine. Let's edit the head. Give the head a bit more to do. Nudge you at the bottom so we can make liberal use of just all the fine headery here. Let's give this owl some head. Okay. Yeah, let's just nudge you down here. It will work off of that. Yeah. Yeah, baby, yeah. Yeah, so far so good. But yes, I should probably reiterate to everyone who just showed up that me and my programmer friend are indeed getting ready to have a playable demo by September of Blackmask. We're we're going to show it during a game event in Chicago, Illinois. So that's our big notable deadline that we're gonna be shooting for, to actually get something playable right now, or at least get something actually playable. And hopefully that'll also be, you know, with on Steam, and getting that done with that actual proper Steam page, because we'd like to not depend on social media overall. It's gotta have the reason why I've kind of like there's the Blackmask still has a Twitter, but I don't update that Twitter at all. Like, I am completely off Twitter, but there's still the online page there, but that hasn't updated at all. And of course, no one, nobody follows that other than, I guess, maybe people who are only here for the game and not me. But it's like, the only reason people know about it is because I keep talking about it. So it's like, that's basically how you're gonna know. And a lot of these streams is basically just how anyone actually will know news about this. Mostly just me needing to apologize for that, because there really isn't much to say overall when it comes to, I guess, any significant news happening, because it's like, we're both working on the game, and right now the game doesn't work. All the the enemy movement patterns are broken. They keep getting stuck on tiles, stuff like that. So it's typical game development stuff. And a lot of stuff that I draw in my sketchbook is not implemented in the game itself. So it's like, I draw a whole lot of concept art, but I cannot promise anything that I sketch in my sketchbook will actually be in the game until it's actually incorporated in the game and you actually see it. I'm shooting to get it into the game because a lot of the game's direction is whatever animations I submit to my programmer. So whatever thing I need to do, that's basically just the direction of an enemy. Like, this owl mostly exists because I put it to him. That's basically just how that goes. I suppose the unofficial director. We haven't really agreed on who's actually leading this dance, but honestly, since a lot of this is me just talking about my OCs and being like, okay, so this is the game context that I'll put in, this is the stuff that I would like to put in the game, and get in some ideas for that kind of stuff. So I suppose that's as close as I can ever say to I am overall directing the game. So it's one of those tough things to wrestle with, because you always, or at least I always kind of worry that I'm gonna be a little too bossy about this kind of stuff. But honestly, if anything, I've actually not been giving my programmer enough credit, because he is damn good. Like, he keeps impressing me with like all the cool shit that he's able to do, to the point where I'm like, yeah, we are going well beyond our actual scope sometimes. Like, sometimes I worry that gang well beyond the scope, but it's like, actually, a lot of stuff he's cranked out has been within like, you know, a week and stuff like that. So it's one of those odd things. Okay. But yeah, it's kind of just one of those things where I gotta take that as I go. Yeah. Shoopity doop. I mean, so far so good with what we've got. So all we gotta do is just keep pace, keep things straightforward. Once this owl's done, I'm essentially going to do things like get some cutscene stuff done. So currently, I'm in the process of getting some cutscenes, you know, getting some like sprite layouts done for cutscenes. And right now I've kind of just been experimenting with how the hell this is actually going to look. Black overlay, damn it. Yeah, it's roughly like this. Yeah, it looks roughly like this, and we have Cole here as like a talking character, or he's much larger. And we have Rhodes, or a more miscellaneous NPC, talking. We have a character speaking, something close to this type of a cutscene look, like something, you know, along the lines of like the basic widescreen thing. They'll probably like do things like nudge the black part a little higher, something like that. But this is, you know, very similar to typical 8-bit games. Probably won't have like the name itself, but you know, it really just depends on the font. That is my next thing that I'll be working on, probably just after the album, is just getting some new sprites for, you know, just general cutscene pose and things like that. I still need to storyboard some things for how the look's gonna go, but essentially I'm kind of paper dolling at the moment, where you just have a bunch of general NPCs, kind of like have a sprite of Captain Rhodes here. Probably needs to look a lot better, do need to work on her just a bit more, but so far so good. Could be more of a dark gray or dark screen or a white screen. But other than that, should be fine. Do the background set pieces, probably like do it down here. You could probably do something like the sea. Do something mad like that. New tile map. Saw it. Let me just put super basic, just very basic sea based things here. Convert this to a tile. Make you like one more of a like have you down. Yep. Yeah, we're kind of just messing about with background stuff. I mean, it is important. Like, it's not like it's not important. It's just... just needs to... This water would probably look more calmer in general. But yeah, overall this looks pretty decent. Probably set this up so it's more of a more of like a water pattern overall. Like, get rid of this and go back to something that's more of a yes, now I'm kind of just getting into this long giant thing of, man, I could just rework on some background. This owl stuff's kind of boring. Let me make some cool backgrounds here, yo. That's kind of just how I'm doing it. Just making just new waves and not fretting so much about how it's gonna look. Just vibing, enjoying some, you know, range Final Fantasy music. Man, I should play the 6 remastered, man. I should just play that. Stop beating around the bush and just go beat it. I got like 3 more days till I go back to work, so I'm like, you know what? I should at least play that game before I don't have time to. Solid. Nice. Now this could be an issue. Okay. I like zooming out and trying not to like be completely zoomed in and like thinking, okay, the sea looks pretty aesthetic, and then make like a new thing. A nice sloppy gradient. Nice like sloppy cloud textured thing. There aren't really clouds over the ocean really, but I'm kind of just messing about. Have this composition just be overall great. Yeah, I'm kind of just in let's just make cutscenes mode stuff where I'm just gonna be cranking out just random ass pixel art just to get things going. Because why the hell not? That is supposed to be a fun thing. And honestly, I intended to at least get something like this done overall anyway. And honestly, this already looks solid. Come on. Yeah, this looks solid already. Like if I picked a different NPC instead of roads. We'll do sheep this time. Sheep's alright. I think the one thing that kind of sucks is it's not her entire body, because I made this with the intent of the entire screen being taken up. But of course, if I was adding text like an actual NES game or a Game Boy game, it would probably be something like this. So this guy is one of those things. I have seen Game Boy games where the overlay is white though. Like I've seen things like this where it'll be colored like this. Let me unlock you. And then the text is, oh boy, I gotta freaking guess. No, I don't have to guess. But like the overlays like this, but that's not actually perfect. Probably do something maybe like this. That could work, but no, the black looked fine. And of course you can do things like darker backgrounds, dark screens like this, nice screens like this, dark gray screens like this. Do stuff like that. And of course I've been experimenting with the actual Game Boy hardware and kind of just seeing what's seeable, what would look close to what we're doing. And so far so good. You know, it's one of those things where I figure it out as I go. Of course, do still need to figure out like how the font's gonna look with this, because the pacing of the dialogue is going to make a giant difference of how this font's gonna be. It's possible that I probably won't even need the name, honestly, because I've seen a lot of games where it just flat out just shows the character, where it just shows one character, but it shows them with all the dialogue here. So it probably just have all the dialogue, you know, this is Lawrence and Dolores. That's typical like placeholder text sentences. Like it'd probably be a maximum 3-line thing or a 2-line thing. You could do a 2-line thing and then have everything maybe slightly higher. Have that closer. I think that's off center too. I think this entire thing's off center. Maybe I'm going insane. Yeah, well, let's go back to the name thing. I'll just let that rock for that. And I'll come back to this some other time. Motherfucker, I've been timing myself. Yeah. Yeah, whatever. Okay. Let's see if I can't finish this owl before going to bed, because it's currently 9:22. I was gonna do like more varied stuff, but I'll just let that go for now. Let's adjust the head, and then that'll be that. Because I feel like there should be some more bulk to this head. Yeah, maybe that's how that's gonna go. Okay. Yeah, let's unlink you. Make this wide. Wide by a single pixel. Wide by a single pixel, that should work. And that's a little too much. How are we looking? I like that blink. Blinks much too much. Keep that there, and that's more than enough. I'm literally like looking at this forever. I think this is as good as it looks for freaking wind blowing. I like that blinks over there. Let's see, slower. That is pretty alright. Now this owl can dive. So not only can this owl fly, flap, 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 flap. You can fly while carrying stuff. But you can also fly with a sword. And it can dive. And then it can swoop. Still probably need to work on that. Probably get to work on that either tomorrow or next week. Fly low. You know what? I actually feel like I've totally bummed this because if this animation's supposed to be this owl being actually low on the ground, this frame just won't work. I'll figure it out as I go. I'll just have to do something about that. Though I won't completely scrap it because it could be useful for something. I'll have to just duplicate you. It is what it is with a lot of these stuff. But yes, the only things left to tackle is the actual sword slashing and a fun little spin attack with that sword slash. So with the claw swoop, that's basically majority of the owl's moves that it needs. And then stuff, well actually it's gotta die while it's in the sky at that state. But essentially, this owl should be capable of carrying Cole. And then Cole would need to break that grab. And that's essentially why Cole needs to be careful around this owl, because Essentially, Cole will be carried on his head, and then the cow will like carry him to, you know, spike pits, or drop him and hit fall damage, or do like a Mizuna drop and shit like that. Like, I have a whole animation map of just insane ideas for what an owl character could do and like totally damage Cole. So there's a million things that I can do. I think I'm just gonna wrap the stream for now because I've gotten a lot done. Cause yeah, I got a shitload of stuff done overall, and I did want to do some other things, like I wanted to get sketching on a Steam page illustration to kind of just have an exclusive piece of art for that Steam page. But I think that just needs more thumbnailing in general. So that's I'll just let that go for a bit. Anyway, thank you anyone for stopping by my art stream. Next week is probably me kind of just diving into working some Unity stuff. You know, a lot of working on some Unity things, script writing, doing a little work on these cutscenes. Like, I think that's probably going to be the big thing that I'm tackling, just get these cutscenes down. So that's going to be the notable thing that I'm tackling. So, anywho's, thank you everyone for stopping by, and I will see you all next week. Have a good night.